Hey, what's up? I'm Justin. Welcome to 65 Drums. If you want to keep on top of all things eDrum related, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos. Now, Roland recently came out with a new app. And by recently, I mean like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I downloaded it like right away, but I just haven't gotten around to actually making a video about it. I haven't tried it out yet. So you're going to see along with me whether or not this app sucks or is amazing. That's what we're going to find out today. It's some sort of teacher training tool app to make you a better drummer. You plug this into your Roland drum set, it recognizes your Roland drum set, it knows what drum you're hitting, and then it gives you a score of some sort. That's my basic understanding of it. I downloaded the app so you don't have to, and if it sucks, then you wasted 5 minutes of your time watching the video. If it's amazing, then maybe you should download it and try it out. Well, that was interesting. And yes, I am wearing a different shirt. Thank you for noticing. This is actually the day after. You're talking to future Justin here. So this whole app can be summed up as a drumming version of Guitar Hero. Now, before you tell me, I know that there is a version, like a plastic MIDI drum set on some versions of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, but you gotta admit, that's not quite the same as playing on a TD-11. I mean, really, have you ever played one of these things and thought to yourself, wow, this feels like a real drum set? No, it's not quite the same. If you're ever playing Rock Band or Guitar Hero that has one of these things, if your little plastic drum set here has a MIDI port, a MIDI in on the back of it, you can actually use a MIDI cable to go from this to your drum module, and you can use your drum set to play Rock Band or Guitar Hero as long as it has a MIDI port on the back of it. But of course, this is free, and a brand new version of Rock Band is going to be 60 bucks. So this is a tad cheaper.
Or is it?
So let's just do a run through of what happens when you go to download and start using the app. Now, to download this, you have to go through the Roland website. I've actually linked the product page in the description below. You can just click on it and open it up and download the link. There's versions of it for Mac and for PC. And it's really easy to install. And when you first open the app, you got to choose a username. So of course I had to choose 65 drums because reasons. And then you have to choose your instrument. What I didn't realize about this app is that it's really 3 apps in one. You have the Melodic Pads app. You basically learn how to play those MIDI square pads with all the zones on them that you see like DJs and stuff use. And then the drum set Melodics app, and then the Melodics keys app. So you can learn how to play keyboard on this too. So that's really interesting. I didn't know that. So of course you want to select your drum set. And it turns out you can use this with non-Roland drum sets. Let me show you how to do that. You just go over here to settings in your main menu and then connected hardware. Right now, I don't have anything connected, it just says computer keyboard. And you can actually just select your drum set. And if like the snare is in the wrong place because you have an Alesis brand or something, it's not quite set up the same way as a Roland drum set, you can just press right here on map your controller and you can map everything correctly. Also from this screen, you can select your audio device. So I just plugged my headphones into my drum module, the audio from the program ran back into the module and I was good to go. So if you go over here to you'll immediately start to see all of the medals that you haven't earned yet. They gamified the learning process. This is to teach you how to play drums. That's why this app exists. And they try to gamify it. They do things like daily score streaks. They want you to play for 5 minutes a day for reasons we'll get to in a second. They give you, scores on percentages on how accurate you were and stuff. So this is where you can go marvel at how amazing you are. And I played this for an hour and a half, and I don't have any score streak days yet because I've only played for 1 day. All right, and then if you go over here to learning, this is the tab that you'll be in the most. You have all these songs, and they have different ratings. So grade 1 all the way to grade 18. There are also courses, but they're all locked away. I can't use them in the free version. But if you're in the lessons menu, You can browse by grade. That's probably where you want to start out. So press lessons and then browse by grade and then start at grade 1 and work your way on. I know some of you think you're the next Buddy Rich, but you're really not, and you'll find that out when you're playing this app because you got to get used to it. You know how in like Guitar Hero and stuff where you got to like time it exactly where the bubbles come towards the line on the screen, and that's when you have to hit the note on the plastic guitar. It's the same thing here, except it goes from left to right. And getting the timing down is pretty darn hard. And what makes it very frustrating is that if you start to suck, the game punishes you. So you might be, going along at 100 BPM and you start to suck and the game notices. It gives you a little bit of grace and then it just cuts it down to 60 BPM. And that makes your score even worse because you're used to playing at 100 BPM. You have to do a 180 and slow down right away. So it's really annoying. Here's actually a clip of it happening to me. I highly recommend once you start up this app to start at grade 1, get used to how it flows and the timing of everything and what the little blocks mean. And so when you get that in your brain, then maybe you can skip ahead a few lessons. Eventually, I think I went to grade 4 or 5 and then I skipped ahead to grade 18. So if I take a look at this whole app from the perspective of someone that's never played drums, if I'm imagining I'm that person, this thing would literally teach me how to drum. Just the free lessons. There's a training mode so you can actually speed up and slow down. I found that when I was trying to tackle a difficult song, I would slow it all the way down. I could slow it down to 17 BPM, and it was like impossible to not learn the song when you go that slow. This would teach me how to play drums, no doubt. Now, I wouldn't say this would replace a drum instructor. My whole idea is that maybe a beginner downloads this, plays it for a solid 6 months every day, or maybe a solid year every single day for 10, 15 minutes. This app will literally build limb independence, and then you can go drop the app and then go get a drum teacher to go on to the more advanced stuff. This thing does work you. I felt like I was in school. I was like concentrating so hard. Pro tip, do not put your laptop to the left. I did that for like a solid 20 minutes or half an hour, and I felt like my neck was stiffening up. It hurt a lot. So I put the laptop in front of my drum set. It was like the best decision I made. And this is where we got to start talking about money, because they do want your money. That's why they built this thing. So if you go over here on the top to subscribe, that's where you'll see where they want your money. They got the free option, 60 free lessons, start building your skills. And then there's monthly for $20 a month. This thing is twice as expensive as Netflix. What? And then there's the option that they immediately point to because they want you to actually buy this one. The 20 bucks a month is supposed to be way too high to make this other option look pretty good in comparison. I'm probably never going to spend a dime on this. I'm probably just going to use the free stuff. This thing is legitimately fun. This is better than that other roll-on app called Friend Jam. It's more satisfying to play this. I do feel like the price tag is a bit steep because there's not quite enough in here. Like when you go through the grades, and then you go all the way to such as something like grade 18, you'll notice that there's hardly anything there. There's like one song. When you go to the higher grades, there's not much there. This is weighted pretty heavily towards beginners. And I don't really think it's worth quite as much money as they're charging right here. But if I play devil's advocate for a second, if I was a beginner and I wanted to go hire a drum teacher, where I live, it would cost me about 10 bucks a week in order to take lessons. I realize I live in the middle of nowhere. The lesson rates around here are incredibly low. I have people that ask me all the time, Justin, where in the world do you live that you only pay 10 bucks for like a 20-minute session? I know some places they charge like 50 bucks for half an hour. If you live in New York, this is way cheaper than taking lessons. It would still take me at least, 3 hours at least in order to complete everything at 100% accuracy. And for a complete beginner just picking up a pair of drumsticks for the first time, if they went through all of the free content here and they made sure they got to 100% accuracy on all of the different lessons that are free, not even the paid ones, it would probably take a complete beginner months in order to finish this game, depending on how fast and like how many hours a day you're playing. So it's completely worth downloading, and this is actually really fun to play with friends. People are gonna be making fun of each other. You feel like a fool when you're playing this for the first time because it keeps telling you that you're playing too fast or you're playing too slow, and you're thinking to yourself, man, am I really that bad? Do I even deserve to have a drumming channel? I need to start taking lessons again. This is what happens when we don't practice paradiddles enough. If you do spend any money on it, you also unlock the key tease version of the app right now. It's a limited time offer. I don't know how long it's going to run. You know, like you ever been by a mattress store and they're always having a going out of business sale, but they've been having that sale for like 5 years? I'm gonna guess that's what's happening here. I mean, if you're gonna use both of them, I think it's worth it, but it's still slightly overpriced because it is just a piece of software. But unfortunately, it's kind of in line with what other apps charge, because I remember I was playing this piano app on my phone once. Unlike this app, it didn't give you 60 free lessons. It gave you like 6 free lessons, and then it wanted your $12 a month. And I was like, really? You really want my $12 a month? We've hardly done any lessons yet, and you already want $12 a month. It should be maybe $5 a month, maybe $3 a month. Just my 2 cents. If you want to go learn more about the app and possibly download it, I'll link to the rolling page. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in a few.